Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Pony 411. This is episode number 314 for October of 2021. I am Nemesis, and I am joined by Alca7raz here.
Hello.
Yeah, this month. Something happened, I guess.
Yeah.
Something happened, I don't know.
Nothing
It seemed like
big.
it might be important, I'm not sure.
Nothing that we've been waiting for a long time to
definitely.
have happen.
Yeah, so, yeah, summer's over. It's now the fall.
Yep.
2021's almost over.
Somehow.
Yeah, Halloween's coming.
Thankfully. Spooky
Gorge
times
yourself
are
on
here.
candy.
Yeah, already have a bunch of candy corn.
Ugh.
I like candy corn as long as it's not too much. You have to take it in moderation.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's been happening, I guess.
Well, I mean, things have been happening.
Did you already get your new car by the time we talked about it last time? I don't remember.
It's been, what, a month?
Yeah. You probably did. I think you just got it.
Maybe. I got it on the 20. I bought it on the 28th. I bought the car on the 28th.
Yeah, you had it. I think last time might have been. Maybe, yeah.
Because I literally bought it on the way here.
Yeah, that was the last time. That was when you bought it. So you got it
yeah.
a month now. You fixed some stuff on it.
I fixed some stuff on it. There's some more things I'm going to fix on it, but it's a used car. It's just a constant.
Yeah. Probably should go ahead and just jump into the news stuff, I guess, because I got nothing else to talk about. Yeah, if you want to follow along, go to pony411.libsyn.com/show notes. It's spelled LIBSYN. You should check those out so you can get more details on this stuff. So we're going to go ahead with fandom news. Equinity number 5. Eruption has released.
Yep.
Equinity, whatever.
Equinity.
Equinity probably because humanity,
humanity
Yeah.
and equine.
The 5th album, I guess, is released.
Yep.
And it's, is it a name your price or is it?
I believe it's a
Yeah,
name your price. It's like 40 something.
Name your price.
It's
37 tracks.
Yeah, it's not as big as the Ponies of Dawn, but it's still good.
There you go. Merchandise news. The large brushables found a few months ago have been officially listed as Mega Movie Friends, retailing for $10.99 American. Which means, well, £11 or whatever, 11 euros, which means it's more expensive for you guys over there.
Yeah.
A new G5 MLP Candyland has been listed at Walmart. It's Candyland, which means it is mind-numbingly dull to play for more than 5.
Candyland.
Yeah, it's MLP G5 themed.
Yeah.
Let's see, Mighty Jax has announced the Crystal Friends line. No, I did not mispronounce that.
Ooh.
Yep, ooh.
Ooh.
God is dead and we have killed him. Yeah, it's let's see, basically little figurines with like crystallized hair, blind boxes. Let's see, they're coming out on October 27th. Let's see, I'm not sure how 4 inches tall.
They're cute.
Yeah.
They're kawaii.
The friends.
The friends, crystal friends.
4 inches, that's about 10 centimeters tall for you international.
Ooh.
Yeah, so there you go. Apparently there's a super secret Twilight Sparkle variant. It's a 1 of 24.
Ooh. You might have to get one of those then.
Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe. Mighty Jax has been doing pretty good with the dissectables and whatnot.
Yeah, so that's that. An Australian toy company named Hunter Leisure has announced new G5 and G4 plushies.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm seeing them. They kind of got goofy looking snouts, though. Well, at least the G4 ones. The G5 ones look fine, but the G4 ones look a little goofy.
Yeah, they look a little goofy. I'm looking at Dash's hair and it looks almost like a combination between I don't know if that's just the way they posed it and it'll sit differently.
Also look at the snout in particular.
Yeah, the snouts look funny.
Look at the G5 ones.
I'm just looking at Dash's hair and I don't know if it's a posing thing, but it looks like it's some cross between a cowlick and a pompadour.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the G5 ones,
G5,
they look better.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
I don't know what that's about.
Except, Zip's pompadour.
Zip has, well, her hair always looked terrible regardless.
Her hair looks like it came out of a toothpaste thing, kind of. It looks like that.
And final bit of merchandise news. Symbiote Studios is also teasing G4 plushes for November. With a little picture of a Rainbow Dash.
Yes, that one.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing that one for a bit.
Yeah, Symbiote Studios also has a license for Transformers plushie, so I guess that Hasbro liked them enough to keep licensing stuff to them.
Yep.
Comic news. Generations number 3 has a synopsis. There's something wrong with in Ponyville. As Grackle and Dyer's nefarious scheme heats up, the pony finds themselves at odds with each other. Can Twilight, Sparkles, Okora, and Pinkie Pie get to the bottom of things before it's too late? And where's this rainbow bridge come from? Came from the 80s. You do not want to go there.
The 80s actually kind of sucked.
Yep.
Rainbow Bridge, yeah.
Especially if you aren't just straight and white.
Especially. Yeah. Rainbow Bridge. It either came from the 80s or Asgard. Take your pick.
Yep.
I prefer Asgard. It's probably safer.
Probably.
Even with the whole Ragnarok thing.
Yeah. And in Friendship is Magic news, yes. That again.
Wow.
Storyboard artist Jeffrey Ame has put some of their work, including To Where and Back Again Part 2. Yes, these are actual storyboards, including a actual video of it playing out.
Ah, yes.
So
And like animatic.
See all that,
Yep.
all the L animatics and stuff, you can look at that.
Nice.
In Generation 5 news, Animation Magazine has an article about some of the work that went into designing the G5 characters. It's actually a nice little article. No spoilers, I think.
Yeah.
Whenever I read it, there was no real major spoilers or anything. Just kind of the work that went into designing them. Just kind of talking about how, it's a bit different than doing it in 2D.
Yep.
We could not just replicate the problem that lost the source models of run into. We take those characters and put them into 3D. They start looking a little weird.
Yeah.
So they pretty much had to kind of chuck out the G4 designs and redo them.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You realize in like 2D animation how often they cheat.
Oh yeah, they cheated hardcore with G4.
Turns out in 3D animation they cheat it really hardcore as well, but the cheats don't work well together. Like you can't cheat the same way.
And the G5 movie soundtrack is now available on Spotify.
Hey, that actually came up real quick compared to the how long it took G4 stuff to get on up there.
7 songs. These are the actual songs in the movie.
Nice.
Not the OST.
Yep. So like a score.
This is not the score.
Not the score.
This is the actual sung stuff.
Yeah.
And the final bit of news, you can also use G5 picks on Netflix now.
Yay.
For your avatar.
Yep.
Mine's currently Catra. That's probably going to stay Catra.
I don't have a Netflix account.
So that's the news.
That's it.
Not a whole lot because, well, quite frankly, there actually was quite a bit of news, but all of it led to our main discussion, so it's kind of pointless to list it when it's stuff like, hey, look, trailers and snippets and stuff from the movie we're going to talk about. Because, we're going to talk about, not surprising to anyone, I hope, My Little Pony, A New Generation.
Yes, it is here. The G5 movie is upon us.
Yeah. That's why that large chunk of the news is just not there, because it
was all movie news.
It was all movie news. Like, hey, here's a clip. Here's another. Here's a song. It's like, cool. We'll talk about that. Just not in the news.
It's just not in the news because it's all going to be part of the movie.
Yeah, there's no point.
It's out.
It's out now.
It's out now.
So anyway, we're going to talk about My Little Pony: A New Generation. Okay, so quick spoiler-free version, I guess, just to start things off. I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. There's a couple little things I would a little not so great hot on, but for the most part, it's a really fun little movie and definitely worth checking out if you've been into G4 at all.
Yeah, it's very good. I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, nothing's perfect. There's a few little things here, but definitely worth watching. Definitely.
Right. Okay. So so any of you who are for some reason listening to this and still haven't seen it, you might want to go now. Just because we're watch it, because we're gonna talk more detailed stuff. Okay. So first thing, the movie in general. Okay. So it's got the whole thing with Sunny and her dad are kind of, it's one little baby Sunny, I guess. She's learning about the whole the history of the ponies, and everyone else in then the Maritime Bay is like, Pegasi and unicorns are bad, but her and her dad know better, that because he's done a bunch of research, and they're gonna totally prove it to everyone else. Anyway, we time skip forward, and her dad's gone, and she's still on this, and she's been trying to prove this. She's kind of become the the town crankcase in a sense because of this. But anyway, she caused a bunch of trouble. Then Izzy shows up in her town, and who's a unicorn, and from there they kind of leave to go to the Pegasus place, Zephyr Heights, and get all that stuff. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff that I find out about the crystals, apparently from Zip, who they meet up. Zip's a princess, and find out about the crystal thing. Basically, the whole thing was because it turns out Pegasi can't fly, unicorns can't do magic. There's no magic whatsoever. So they do the crystals. They're trying to get the crystals, and they got one from the Pegasi Queen. They go to Bridalwood, get the unicorns. They are able to get the other crystal. Doesn't work. Sunny goes home disappointed. Turns out the whole time, the deputy of Maritime Bay has been kind of gone all fascist dictator.
Yeah.
And but she gets home and she discovers the third crystal and then they struggle to assemble it all together while literally the lighthouse she lives in is under siege by the deputy guy.
Sprout.
And meanwhile the other ponies are starting to come together and realize all this time, and then she realizes it's not about the crystals, it's about the fact that we need to befriend each other and all that stuff. And then Glowing thinks she becomes a pseudo alicorn. We'll get more into that. And then everyone's happy and united, and
magic comes back
and all that stuff. And that's the gist of the movie.
That's the gist.
Again, it's a whole quick summary because it's a movie. Okay, first things first. Really well done animation. I want to say that right now.
Incredible.
There's, I think, one thing the entire time where I went, whoa, that's weird looking. The entire time there's this one bit where the frame rate looked almost like the frame rate dropped in half.
Oh, it may have been a rendering
2 or 3 seconds, and then everything was fine.
And who knows? That may just been a hiccup or a Netflix.
I don't think so. The way usually if Netflix hiccups, you're going to notice.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where it looked like just straight up the frame rate was like that they didn't complete the animation for this like one bit. Like they didn't get all the frames done, but whatever.
Maybe the render farm hiccuped and that's what made it in.
Anyway, so that was one thing, but for the most part, it's very smooth, very good looking animation. Lots of little touches here and there that you just kind of notice, just little
details
things
that you wouldn't notice unless you look for and go, holy crap.
Or you notice just because they're missing.
Yeah. These
little things. So there's a lot of stuff like that. The music, mostly pretty good. Some of the songs, a couple of songs are kind of ambivalent towards nothing outright bad.
Yeah,
for sure.
None of the music is bad.
But there's one or two songs I feel like, they're all right.
Yeah. Mostly good, but yeah, I'll agree. Good music with a couple that are above average.
Wasn't expecting a kind of sort of villain song with a very grunge vibe to it.
It
was not expecting that one. It was very clearly a parody of Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
Which is funny considering that album just literally turned 30.
Yeah. It was unexpected, but not unwelcome.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was very nice.
Vanessa Hudgens particularly got a couple times to really show off that she can sing.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Definitely got a couple of those. There's that whole thing. I'm trying to think. I want to say kind of like, I think it's like to a degree some of the characters really didn't get a whole lot of fleshing out, unfortunately. Particularly Pip, I think. She didn't really get a whole lot.
Right.
Zip got some, but not a whole lot either. Is really seemed to be focused on Sunny and Izzy specifically.
Yes.
Which I don't mind particularly, but
yeah, because they're great. I think you're starting to hit on one of the things that I was going to point. I feel in it that certain parts of the story could have gone on a little longer.
Yeah, a little bit.
They could have fleshed certain things out.
Again, it's already at an hour and a half. I mean, you're doing a children's thing. You really don't want to push it too long.
Right, and that's probably it. They probably I would bet that they had planned to do a little bit more fleshing out in there, but had to do some time limiting to try and get it under a limit. Because again, like you said, this is a children's movie. It's My Little Pony. The entire series, entire franchise is for children. It always has been.
Yeah.
So they probably had to cut some things for time, and I do wish certain things were a little bit more fleshed out. At certain times, things felt like they were moving a little quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all of that ties into the same thing. Things moved a little fast, so some characters weren't as fleshed out as I would have liked. Some story elements kind of jumped forward a little bit quicker than I would expect. And nothing bad. It wasn't like any major, where the heck did this come from? All of a sudden they're, like all of a sudden you missed an entire story element. Nothing like that.
Right.
But a little bit more time with the characters would have been nice. But again, time limits.
Yeah, I would definitely say Pip and Zip actually kind of suffered the most on that one. Hitch got a bit, but he's in a weird one. He's like almost for a while had a bit of a secondary plot until he got reunited with the rest of the cast.
Yeah, and his secondary plot didn't really exist all that much until it wasn't that big of one.
He was
either.
just chasing after Sonny.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
He's got to bring her to justice because he's a cop.
Yeah, I'm trying to think on screen time how much his quote secondary plot and Sprout's story, how much screen time compared between them, because it feels like Sprout got more time on that than Hitch did on his little journey. Because his just felt like it was just a couple scenes and that was it.
Yeah.
And now he's part of the group.
Yeah, and most of it, he was just supposed to be there, kind of be I guess, he was supposed to be against Sonny. But
but not really. And then that wasn't really.
He's supposed to be the one who basically he's supposed to be there more or less to ask the questions to make Sonny explain things.
Yeah, basically. That's probably the best way to describe it.
And it's a thing. It's like but definitely Sonny and Izzy got the bulk of the attention.
Yes,
and
definitely.
It's probably part of the reason why Izzy in particular is really popular with the fandom. Although she was already
popular.
Catching on, but people are still saying Izzy's the best after seeing the movie.
Yeah,
because she is.
Yeah, she got the most attention. She's probably got out of all of them the most. She has the most personality. With Sonny in a close second, I would say, just quantity.
Which is when you think about it, because Sonny should have the most because she's the main character.
But when I say there's also like when you say someone has a lot of personality, that doesn't always mean that they're the main. They just Izzy's that kind of character that she's just all out there.
Yeah, and the thing about Izzy as well, she's also very much got a bit of Pinkie Pie-esque traits, but without a lot of the more annoying qualities Pinkie has. She's a lot more subdued in many ways. She's not very shrill and loud and.
Yes, exactly. She's happy and cheerful and bouncy, but she's not always grabbing you right into your face and demanding, "No, me, look at my antics." She kind of does her antics on her own, and
and it's fun. And she actually just has she's more than just a comedy relief. She actually is a genuine, she's a genuinely actually important part of the story for multiple reasons, including like when they have to disguise themselves as unicorns, or she was the one that kicked the whole thing off because she got a whole thing where at the beginning Sonny and her dad sent out this little it's a lantern thing with a message attached to it to tell Pegasi unicorns to please come to Maritime Bay, and she's the one who got it, and that's why she eventually just went to Maritime Bay.
Yep.
Which
got your message. Came over. Yeah, sorry it took so long.
It's destiny.
Destiny. They're They're star-crossed lovers.
No. Star-crossed again. That implies tragedy. People always forget that.
Yeah.
It's so romantic. No, it's not. They die for stupid reasons.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah, that's definitely those two in particular got the most fleshing out, and because of that, I think that's where most of the people's likes are going to go is those two. Most people are going to be more interested in those two, at least for now. Who knows how things will play out in the future?
Yeah.
Unless there's people who just really adamantly want to like the sporty one or the social media star or whatever. Unless they really want to adamantly like those characters specifically, most people are probably going to gravitate towards Sonny and Izzy. Yeah. I see you. I'm calling you out.
Yeah, you are calling me out. Because Zip is the archetype.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I wish she got more time.
Still think her hair looks like a poop.
Yeah. I mean, I think her hair could be a little bit better, but
yeah.
Otherwise, she's got the character archetype I like.
Yeah.
I was expecting.
I was kind of worried they're going to try to push Sonny and Hitch together.
Oh, thank God they
did not. If at best you can if you twist your head and squint your eyes a bit, you can possibly see something. But
and at some point you could you would take less effort to ship Hitch and Pip.
Yeah, Hitch and Pip had a weird bond or something, so I don't know, so that might be a thing.
I don't think it would be, but it would take less effort to ship those two than, unless you want to go with the childhood friend, which usually I go for, but not this time. Also, he's a cop.
Yeah, he's a cop. Yeah, and there's Sprout. Sprout took over as a deputy, as it was a deputy who clearly is kind of incompetent. Makes you wonder how he got the job in the first place.
Because his mom runs the town.
Yeah, essentially, she runs a company, but it's one of those weird things where the company is so important to the town that.
Yep. Cantor logic.
Yeah, it was clear that the company makes things that are largely useless.
Yes.
But she is very well committed. Oh man, the company's just over. Company's over. All the products are gone. All the products are for protection against Pegasi and unicorns, and well,
you don't need that.
That's irrelevant now.
But it does mean that all of your employees are really good at the manufacturing and all that sort of work, so you can design other things now. Though apparently the Pegasi are pretty good at that too, judging at their city.
Yeah. So then Sprout kind of fills in as sheriff, and thanks to partially to his mom's encouragement, because he's very much a mama's boy.
Very much a mama's boy.
And eventually, though, it goes to his head, and he goes full blown dictator with even calls himself emperor. And his mom's kind of like, "What, emperor?" Wait, what? And then eventually comes out with full blown military regalia, medals, everything, big old podium,
and the whole Sprout Act and whatever that is, because they didn't explain it.
Yeah, and also the giant banner of his face on it.
Yep.
It's like, well, he took over.
Yep, and having all the citizens march in step like stormtroopers and...
Yeah, only for him to build a machine for himself so he can lay siege to the lighthouse, because there's the unicorn and the Pegasi, they must be stopped, and then he somehow cuts out scot-free, essentially.
I guess, yeah.
He just kind of is like, Yep, that's it. He's now probably just the social pariah, though.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
I don't know how that's going to work out, because that's...
Since when do cops ever have to face judgment for their actions?
Yeah, it's nice. Well, this is a fantasy. The thing about also Hitch is like apparently he's very popular in the town,
especially with animals.
Yeah, especially the animals. Congratulations, dear Fluttershy fans. He's your new pony. Sorry,
he's your new Fluttershy.
Yeah, he's also they had the whole joke with the calendar with him doing all the sexy poses and everything.
Oh yeah,
and then Sprout pasting his face over it. Yeah, it's weird.
Yep. Sprout has some inferiority complexes.
Oh yeah, he does. He absolutely does. There's a couple other things there. I was thinking, Bridalwood was just very interesting because the first time you get there, it's just all the unicorns just look bored.
Yeah, that
bored. Izzy's the outlier.
Yeah, bored, tired, emo.
Done with life.
Yep. It's like their magic was their energy and life force too, and without their magic, they're nothing.
Yeah.
What I found interesting with all of that, when it comes to like more of the lore and world building, the unicorns live in the forest.
Yes.
Which is interesting.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because if we look to G4, which that ties into the whole, are these actually, I want to say these are in the same universe.
Yeah.
The unicorns were the ones who built Canterlot originally, and they were builders and city builders, and now they're living in the forest. And Pegasi have the giant city, which, I mean, they had Cloudsdale, but... So it's a little interesting to see them in the forest.
A little bit.
So it's like, huh. It reminds me almost like, if you go into like elves.
Well, remember also,
elves and whatnot,
they're the ones who also relied on magic to do a lot of their stuff. So once the magic's gone,
yeah,
hard to build stuff now.
Yeah, hard to build stuff. So you have
their ponies managed clearly.
Yep, other ones did. Earth ponies just lived like Earth ponies, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah. Speaking of G4 stuff, yeah. So the movie opened with a 2D animation thing of like its adventures, like some little adventure thing with Twilight. Yeah, the rest of the main six, all of them. Even got the original VAs back, which is a nice little thing. Although then Rarity all of a sudden,
and then all of a sudden, yeah,
Rarity's going to destroy everyone because she's evil because she's a unicorn. Yeah, it turns out there's a little kid versions of Sunny, Sprout, and Hitch all playing together with Sunny's dolls.
Yep,
pony dolls.
Pony dolls.
Yeah, this is clearly, there's a lot here where it just clearly ties into G4. I mean, there's that at the beginning. There's of course, Sunny's buttons, the dolls, the stained glass window.
That's the big one, I think.
Yeah, and then of course Twilight's cutie mark everywhere.
Yeah, the stained glass window with Twilight's cutie mark is probably the biggest one, because the rest of it was just dolls and stories and buttons and such. Then you could technically say it's just a story within the universe. But with that giant stained glass window in Zephyr Heights,
yeah,
that solidifies it right there.
Of course, I've noticed the movie does leave a lot of open questions.
Yes, that was another thing. There's a lot of
why did everything
questions.
break apart in the first place? They don't really answer. It just happened one day.
Yep.
And
where did those gems come from?
Yeah, the gem thing. Why are the gems a thing?
What are those? Where they come from? Why are they significant?
What happened to Twilight?
Yep. What happened to the main six?
Because the implication of G4, yes, Twilight's just like Celestial Luna with the whole long life.
Yep. So what happened?
What happened there? All that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that they just gloss over. I don't know if they're gonna ever get around to in the series or what. I don't know if they're just gonna don't worry about it.
Yep.
Don't think about.
Yeah, and that's one thing. There's other smaller questions and such that they didn't answer either, like what happened to Argyle, to Sunny's dad.
Yeah, Sunny's dad he's dead now.
Yeah,
he was alive when she was a kid. Now he's dead.
Yep. I will say, however, that those questions didn't need to be answered in the story.
No, for this movie, no.
Yeah, because I know that's a big one. A lot of people say, "Oh, it didn't answer these questions, therefore it's bad."
No, people are going to obsess over it.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah, and that's why I wanted to specifically point out, like, yes, they didn't answer these questions, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
They didn't need to. Not here. They can answer them later if they want. That could be storylines in the series that they go to, that they want to bring up.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just won't touch it because they want to leave that unknown. Maybe that's a lore in the world that they want to establish, is that not even the ponies now know what happened.
Well, it's clearly a lot of them don't. They kind of established that because, and
that may be a sticking point.
None of them believe that that all the ponies were friends at one point. Mm-hmm. None of them believe that. We established that. And then, they have to, Sunny's dad had to do a ton of research just to,
I would love to see them go have a whole story on finding it out, because I love those kind of stories.
Yeah.
They don't technically need to, but I would love to see it.
The other thing was, at the end when the crystals reunite, that all came the big revelation of, we just need friendship because friendship is magic. Then the crystals unite and then they surround Sunny and she turns into a pseudo alicorn.
Yeah,
that was the thing. This was the thing when I was talking about with those toys that had the spoilers. This was the bit. These are toys with Sunnies and alicorns.
Okay.
So it's one of those things, like this was spoiled way several months ago.
Yeah, I didn't really know about it. I saw some.
I knew it was coming. I was just wondering how they're going to handle it. It's a weird thing, but it's this weird thing. I say pseudo alicorn because her horn and wings are clearly not they're actual things.
Yeah, we're like an actual horn is
a
like
solid glowing
object. Yeah, they're glowing,
almost like
orange.
Holograms.
Yeah, they look like holograms. So they seem functional.
Yeah,
like she's flying around.
She's flying with Pip and Zip.
Yeah. So whether they're permanent, temporary, I don't know.
They didn't go away by the end of the movie. They're still very much there when the
but there wasn't much time left at the end of the movie between when she got them, so maybe we just didn't see it.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing there because she just still has it. They don't like she lands and they fade away or something. They're still very much there. So I don't know if they're a permanent thing we're going to see throughout the series, or if they're going to occasionally show up when she does some big thing during the series. We don't know.
Maybe one random idea that popped into my head is maybe that was part of the whole thing with the gems, because they went to Zephyr Heights and there was a whole area with the stained glass and all that sort of stuff, and they said that was a place where they met. Maybe
it was essentially like a train station.
Yeah, or maybe a ceremonial area.
It looked like the way that playing the stained glass, you can see it's clearly like a lobby for a train station or something. You can clearly see it.
Maybe. Did you let me finish? It doesn't matter. It does that part doesn't matter, but obviously they met, and they had the stained glass with all of those gems. So the gems were important, and I think they're important with their meetings. Maybe they combine the gems and have like a temporary leader for something.
Yeah, I don't know.
For whatever reason, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe there was like a after Twilight and whatnot, or maybe somehow she set up this series of things where,
Yeah. Because the other thing was like
a leader or whatnot.
Yeah, because for a while, that's my question during the movie. It's like, why are the gems so important for magic when that was never a thing in G4?
It was never a thing.
The gems weren't actually never really that much of it. They power up once, the friendship starts flowing, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like weird. It's like, I'm not sure how that works. I don't know. It's like some sort of weird essence of Twilight thing. I don't know. That's maybe where she went. She's the gems now.
She's the gems now.
What is this, Steven Universe?
God. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, they don't explain why magic disappeared, and even in G4 lore, they didn't have magic disappearing even during the whole Wendigo thing.
Yep.
They still had magic, or at least they didn't say they lost their magic.
Yeah, they're still clear. I mean, there was a whole thing, and the unicorns were raising and lowering the sun.
Yeah.
Pegasi were flying and out doing weather stuff, but they were all separated, so it's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's just because Equestria was so good, now when you mess it up, now it gets really bad.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah.
Or maybe this was the price to pay. It's like, if you don't want Wendigos, you just lose your magic.
You want Wendigos? Because that's how you get Wendigos.
No, you get Wendigos by eating people.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's pure speculation on what happened to cause the magic loss. Because again, they don't answer that. They don't need to for this.
No.
For this movie.
Absolutely not.
For the story that they're saying here, that's unnecessary. I'd like to know because I'm curious, but it's not a hit against the movie.
No, absolutely not. Oh, yeah, a couple little weird things. There's a couple little weird, again, like you said, definitely a weird, couple little pacing things where it's just like sometimes it moved a little fast. There was one thing I just noticed when early in the movie is like, okay, Sunny's trying to sneak into the factory and Hitch and Sprout stop her. And then Sprout takes the cart in and Hitch has to go chase after the because they littered because, he's taking his job very seriously. And then Sprout takes the cart in and then there's just Hitch waiting for him. It's like,
It's just
Hitch, what did you?
Sprout's just slow.
I guess. And then, of course, that means Hitch went in through another door?
Sure.
I guess. It's okay.
Maybe
It's
Sprout's
still weird.
Sprout's just in.
That feels very much like oops. Just a little small thing. It just kind of stuck out to me. It's one of those things that just sticks out because, like,
how'd you get here? Weren't you just outside?
I was always here.
I was always here. What are you talking about? There's multiple Hitches.
Yeah, again, there's a whole thing with those smartphones that was mostly the Pegasi.
Yeah, that was a big Pegasi thing.
The Pegasi seem to be at this point the most technologically advanced, although Earth ponies aren't very behind, versus the unicorns went full blown back to our roots.
Literally, in trees.
I mean, like, you see that they have a DDR machine, essentially, but it has to be run by little armadillo things.
Yeah, or something, yeah.
Armadillo mice things on a treadmill.
Speaking of animals, it's kind of funny. In Zephyr Heights, all the animals have wings, too.
The wings there, including the dog.
Including the dog.
And the rats.
Yep.
Rat with wings. It's just a seagull. Or a pigeon, depending on where you are.
Depending on where you are. Or sometimes both. Get them both.
Sea pigeon.
Sea pigeons.
Pidgull. Pidgull.
Pidgull.
I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of a weird thing that, it seems like the Pegasus are the most advanced. I mean, they have the big old billboards with TV screens and everything on sides of buildings, and the social media and all that stuff. Because Pip's a social media star.
Yep.
And they have his live stream with all the lights and hearts and stuff going through as she's live streaming.
Yep.
And that's the other thing was Pegasus don't have magic, and the royal family are faking it, and they were all essentially declared criminals.
Yep.
The queen was arrested, the princesses escaped, but then the queen escaped somehow, which we don't know. No explanation. She just got out somehow.
It's interesting. They arrested the royal family, which tells me some things about their political system. And it's most likely that the royal family is ceremonial and doesn't actually have
UK.
That kind of power.
Although, I mean, then again, we see that they brought the prisoners to the royal family for judgment.
Right. So it's...
I wonder if they decided, it was tossed out our current political system because, how dare they?
Yeah, I'm wondering if it is somewhat...
A very fast revolution.
Very fast. Yeah, those guillotines are ready to go. But, yeah, it is interesting that they arrested them.
See, this is what happened. What happened many years ago. That separation is because the Pegasi is due to a Pexit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting. There's also little things like that. Just there that like you also in that scene you see tons of little fake brand names, like you see Pony for Sony or
was it Z Mobile or something?
ZBS for because it's Zephyr Heights instead of CBS.
The T-Mobile one.
They didn't say it wasn't Z Mobile. It was this T-Mobile logo. It was very different wording entirely.
Yeah.
Spotify was Amplify.
Yeah.
so on and so forth. It's like, well,
There was a Nike one, but they didn't say the brand. They just put the
just wing it.
just wing it with a not quite Nike swoosh.
Yeah. So you got that whole weird thing.
Oh, the movies in, in
Judgment
Maritime
Nay.
Bay.
Judgment Nay.
Yeah.
And Dirty Prancing.
Some of those we've seen earlier.
Harry
with
Trotter.
Yeah.
What was the other one? There's one more.
Yeah, there was a few. There was a Jaws one too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But those ones we'd seen earlier in the earlier release clips and pictures.
It's just Judgment Nay. This big old
But
Arnold pony.
It was a lot of fun.
It was
really
a lot of
liked
fun. It's one of those things. I've seen a lot of opinion. I've seen people say this is better than the 2017 movie. I've seen people say it's worse than the 2017 movie. Still better.
Yeah,
It's one of those things. I think it's still. I think in many ways it still feels kind of that weird thing of like it feels at times does feel an extended episode thing.
sort of. Yeah, it feels like
It still has that same core issue.
It feels like a season premiere,
Yeah,
and finale all at the same time.
yeah. Split into 3 parts and bam, you got a 3-parter for the open the series.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's a thing. It's like it does. I think in many ways because it's beginning, it pulls it off better versus the 2017 movie we had the weird thing where just it's the middle of everything and it feels really disconnected.
right. Yeah,
So this introduces us to stuff, and also has that weird I guess stinger thing with the 3 kids playing, and then the hoof marks in the ground. Which
yeah. And I don't. It's like, okay, that's nice, but it feels like it's wanting to say something, but it doesn't say anything.
I don't know.
Does
Yeah,
it? I don't.
Because that's the
know.
other thing. Their hooves leave little heart prints. Because believe that was actually an older generation thing too.
Speaking of older generation,
Yeah, there's that scene.
yeah,
Very, very blink and you'll miss it
yep.
with
It was
G1.
Yeah, it was during the song. Was it Sprout's song?
Yeah, it was during Sprout's song.
During Sprout's song, it switches to a store full of TVs, and just for a moment, you see what's on the TVs, and it's clips from a G1 episode, from G1 stuff.
Yep, very old stuff there. So the other lingering question is, because, okay, I don't think they've actually officially announced it, but everyone knows it's coming, the series. I don't
Right.
remember if they officially announced it yet, but the question would be, are they going to keep the same voice actors?
That's a big one that everyone's been asking for, because
the problem is some of these actors are probably going to cost a bit of money. I think
Yeah.
James Marsden is not going to exactly be cheap, for example.
Vanessa Hudgens.
Vanessa Hudgens is that weird thing where like,
Yeah, a lot of those voice actors are very expensive.
so
They're
it's like,
big names. They ain't cheap.
that's one of the things. It's like, because I'll say this, it's one of those things where when you get celebrity VAs, you can have that weird thing of like this turns out this actor is not very good at voice acting.
Right.
I've actually been seeing that with the Marvel's What If lately.
Oh,
A lot of those
I haven't seen
VAs are they're not very good at doing voice acting.
Right. They're really dependent on the everything else.
Yeah, they're really dependent on being physically active. Some of them are better. I think actually Chris Hemsworth actually did a pretty decent job. But whatever. On that regard, so these are celebrities who mostly do in front of camera stuff, and I think for the most part they did a pretty darn good job here.
Yeah.
There's a couple. I think there's one or two bits that's kind of, but can't be perfect.
Can't be perfect.
I mean, even professional VAs we've seen kind of deliver flat delivery.
Yeah.
Flat delivery. Couple. I mean, Tara Strong, for example. Let's be real. She's kind of messed that up a couple times. There's even 1 or 2 points in the G4 itself. She kind of had a weird delivery.
Yep.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
It happens.
It happens. Sometimes they're having bad days, or sometimes they just don't. They're not really into
Or
the
just
material.
sometimes the voice director does a bad job of directing them.
Or yeah, there's so many things that can do
But
it.
the problem with celebrity VAs, sometimes they're just they're just doing this for the paycheck.
Yep, they're
And you
just
can
basically
tell
phoning it
they
in.
just sound bored.
Yep.
None of them sound bored. None of them sound bored, at least.
Yeah.
I would suspect most, if not all of them, are probably going to be replaced.
I wouldn't be surprised, because if you're running a series, that's
Money.
a huge budget.
You never know. It depends. Like I know, for example, the Tangled series from Disney, they got the VAs from the movie to redo their roles.
Yep.
the
If
whole
they've
time.
got the budget, and if they think
And
they've got the
that's
budget,
Disney money.
Disney money. Hasbro doesn't have Disney money.
But they still have a ton of money.
They have a fair amount of money.
They are a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
It's one of those how much are they willing to spend though on their advertisement for toys.
Then that's a tough one, because no one knows when the series is. Then we don't have
No,
an
we don't have an
release
official
for this.
word on when the series will premiere, other than it's probably going to be on Netflix as well.
Yeah, so you also have the Netflix support.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's what it was. They did announce this series was coming to Netflix at some point.
Yeah, but that'll be a tough one, because since we don't know when it's releasing.
Yeah.
we can't get really an idea on when the voice acting has been done.
Exactly.
So that's another one, because sometimes there's the idea of the movie is a testing the waters. If the movie does really good, they may keep the voice actors because they think, oh, it was really good. We have more assurance that the series is going to be good, so we can put the extra money in. But I don't know if that's the case, because we don't know.
I remember the leak said they were going to do celebrity VAs for the movie, then just more standard VAs for the series.
Right, which would make sense.
Yeah, that costs less money.
Yeah, and if the series is...
But at one point, also, the series is supposed to be traditionally 2D animation and the movie 3D, so then that apparently has changed.
There's a lot of things have changed since the leaks and now.
Yeah, because
that's like I say, since we don't know when the series is supposed to release. If it releases soon, then that's not the case, because they would have had to made that decision before the movie was.
Yeah, we also know from the not leaks, but it's like job listings and stuff. They're doing CG for the series as well.
Right. Yeah.
Because I want to guess we have the assets already.
You have the assets.
Although who knows? I can't remember if it's still it's probably still Boulder.
I know Boulder's been doing a lot.
Yeah, so it's probably one of those weird things. Where it's like probably this animation is not going to be quite up to snuff, but
because the movie,
you have to do it faster and on a smaller budget.
Yeah, movies always look better.
We'll see how that plays out in the future.
Yeah,
it's a good movie. Not the most amazing movie, but still good. Still fun to watch.
Yeah. It's interesting because part of me wants to try and put more comparisons between it and the 2017 movie, which is unfair to both, because they're different movies for different series, essentially. I want to say this movie, the story, when you just talk about the story and its complexity, this one has very much a simpler story. The basics of it. It's nothing surprising, nothing unexpected, but it's not bad.
Well, same with the G4 story. That was really
I think it had a little bit more. I'm having issues finding the words to quite describe it. Neither of them were like super detailed stories, and I don't want to call this one like a run of the mill story, because it wasn't. But it wasn't.
But at the same time, it kind of was.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It feels almost like I'm saying it's a bad thing, but it's not.
No.
It told its story fairly well.
Yeah,
even though there wasn't.
I will say the G4 movie felt more, and I said this this movie kind of to a degree, but yeah, the G4 movie very much felt more of this is an extra long episode that really didn't need this long.
Right.
And I'm also one of those people who says Rainbow Rocks is still the best MLP movie ever. Actually, after this, I would still say that this is still a good movie, but I would still say Rainbow Rocks is the best one.
Yeah.
Of all of them and across all generations. Because I've seen all the movies now.
I would have liked to see Rainbow Road Trip a little bit more.
No, Rainbow Road Trip, yeah.
Because that one was going to be the second movie, apparently.
Technically was the second movie. It just was a TV-only movie.
Yeah, it was released that way. I would have liked to see that one have a little bit more
budget cut down and no celebrity VAs this time. Because when you look at that movie, you can tell all those new characters are supposed to have celebrity VAs and stuff. But then, nope.
Which sucks, because I think if they would have kept the budget and did Rainbow Road Trip with the same production,
well, then you should have seen the first movie like 10 more times. Duh.
God, to make up for the amount of people that didn't. I honestly think if Rainbow Road Trip would have been put out with the same level of budget and production values that the 2017 was, before they cut it back because 2017 movie didn't do so well, I think Rainbow Road Trip would have been noticeably better than the other movie.
Maybe.
Because that was a fun.
It was a fun movie, but I still think that there's some stuff about that just generally was one out of a.
I think it stuck around in the fandom more because the 2017 movie didn't have kerfuffle.
Yeah.
But yes.
Which way, yeah.
This is now G5, not G4.
Yeah, it does set up very well. We'll see how the series is. We don't know what kind of show it's going to be yet.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's going to be more adventures or just we're doing slice of life now after we had our big adventure.
Yeah, which would be part of the course.
Who knows how they'll play it out? How it'll play out? We'll see.
We'll see. We shall.
Yeah, it just depends really on when the series comes out.
Yep, which we don't know. We don't know
unless
much.
Like there was a big thing in the last few hours of, hey, yeah, we now know when the.
That would be funny.
I don't see anything. Yeah, but there's the thing. My Little Pony movie is apparently number 5 in the U.S. on Netflix today.
Yeah.
Also number 1 for kids in Brazil. The U.S. and for kids is number 1. That top one, it's number 1 for kids in the U.S.
So it's doing very well at the moment.
Yeah.
It would have been really nice if the situation in the world would have allowed it to be theatrical. That would have been really nice.
Well, at this point, it probably could have been, but
They,
once Netflix bought the rights, that's it.
Yeah, and also, like, in order to get it in theaters, they would have had to start that process back when no one would have known.
Yeah.
Things were still
some movies still
up.
managed to do it.
Some movies did, but yeah.
So that's I guess that's it for that movie stuff.
Yeah.
Still a fun movie, but
it's a fun movie. I really enjoyed watching it.
So anyway, move on to fan content with music.
Yes, music. So I've only got one that I want to kind of feature today. It is BlueBrony's Civil Twilight. This is part 4 of a 5-part album that goes with a different song for each of the princesses. Yes, they're including Flurry Heart.
Yeah.
It's really good EP, I guess, if you want to call it that. Not really an album, but whatever. This one's kind of synthwave, and it's a lot of fun. It's great. I love it. It's interesting. It starts out with the really driving synthwave beat, and then it switches up partway through to an almost orchestral, and then kind of flows back into kind of both. But it's really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, this is very much kind of a weird hybrid of like synthwave and like this orchestral thing with strings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a nice, about a quiet intro. There's a couple little string sections here and there, and it's just got a very, kind of a more laid back type of synthwave.
Mm-hmm.
So in general, cruising synthwave rather than action scene synthwave.
Yep, I love a good cruising synthwave. The crank it up in the car and cruise down a empty freeway at night. The lights go by.
Exactly.
It's
pretty cool.
Yep.
That's music. Fanfiction, though, no updates, surprisingly. Once again, Clear Skies. That has not updated recently for some reason. I don't know. But got features. 2 of them, actually. Both monochromatic.
Go figure.
Yeah, the first one is actually just a very short story in the Enchanted Library universe of ghostly princesses and feverish unicorns, in which Rarity is sick and Twilight more or less takes care of Rarity, even though Rarity is, of course,
kind of out of it.
Out of it, and of course Rarity was dumb enough to go out in the woods and stuff when she was super sick, and Twilight, of course, kind of lays into her for that.
Don't do that. You're sick.
You're sick. But I want to see you.
That's nice, but you're sick.
Yeah, that's pretty much just that's it. It's all it is. It's just
it's
kind of cute Raritwi fluff.
Yep, it's fluffy, sappy.
Well, before they get to really, get together.
It's
so it's that sort of fluff.
Yep, and it is, and like you said, it is for the library time.
Yep.
So it's pre.
Yep.
Her
it's
getting
very
out.
much a small little side story.
Yep.
And the other one though is the Enchanted Carousel, which is the 3rd in the series and probably the final, considering, the author's notes and everything.
Yep.
It actually starts off with Discord more or less bruising his own ego to, I guess, justify being a jerk. Sure. Discord. And then the first chapter, because it's only the prologue in the first chapter so far, is basically just Raritwi flirting and... That's pretty much the bulk of it, just Raritwi flirting.
Yep, it's the beginnings of the next act, I guess.
Essentially, yeah. It says Raritwi flirting, some setups with like Cadence kind of showing up, and they're gonna do stuff and going on a new big adventure.
How are you here?
Exactly. All that stuff. Basically, that's the gist of it so far. But it's Also includes a nice little link for a recap of the entire series at the top, in case you
Haven't
forgot.
been keeping up.
It's sometimes it's be real. There's some time between updates.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a bit of a slow start, but we're still already seeing some of the pieces being put into place for the next piece of the story.
All the pieces are falling into place.
Yep. Discord's just jerkiness. Oh, it's interesting how it's done. Just him just kind of getting upset because he's not very popular, but
What do you expect?
a little, of course, ominous. All was according to plan.
All according to Kikaku.
Yeah, it's fine. This is fine. If Discord's plans are going well, that means everything's great, right? Right?
Right.
All right, so it's great thing, and also I don't think I haven't mentioned this yet, but I actually got to meet Monochromatic at Everfree. Turns out she listens.
Hi. Yeah, it's like we're featuring Enchanted Carousel. We only have like one chapter, just because it's already good. We know it's going to be good.
It's one of those things. Like you've proven yourself that okay, yeah, I can just rely on just I can feature you, and it's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
So yeah,
Yep.
check it out.
Yep.
Keep up
Check
with
it out. No, I'm definitely looking
Very
forward
Try
to
is my
seeing where it
second
goes.
favorite ship. I even bought the Enchanted Library physical. Like I have physical
did.
copies now.
You did.
It's worth it. So that's it for this episode of Pony 411. I hope you liked it. And if you did, you can check out past and future episodes at pony411.libsyn.com. Again, it's spelled Libsyn. If you want to check that out, subscribe to the RSS feed there. You can check us out on other destinations. There's Deezer, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, YouTube. And yeah, that's for the subscription stuff. Subscribe on those services if you want to. If you want all of them, none of them. I don't know how you want to do it.
None of them. Then why are you listening?
I don't know. Or maybe you just want to do it manually. Because okay.
Sure, I guess.
Yeah, you could also find us on Ponyville Live for now, I think. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Did it finally die?
Page isn't redirecting properly.
Sometimes it dies and then comes back.
Yeah, but theoretically, you can find us on ponyvillelive.com.
When if the site actually works.
Yeah, if it works, you can find us there, I guess. If it ever works again, it might be dead forever. Who knows? I have no idea what's going on.
It's been on life support for ages.
Yep. I guess you can still find us there. Woo! Or you can find us a more reliable place like Ponyville FM. You can tune in every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and listen to us. And you can also tune in at any other point in the day or week to listen to live DJs or just music or whatever. If you want to contact us, you can do so via email, pony411podcast@gmail.com. If you have questions or comments or criticisms of what did you think of the movie?
Yes.
Did you like the movie? I don't know. Do you disagree with it? Do you think it's amazing? Do you it's the best movie ever and we are dumb because we don't praise it enough? Or do you think it was terrible and we thought we were being too kind to it? I don't know.
I'm going to say, did you like it or are you wrong?
You're not just wrong, you're stupid. Yeah, so, you can do that. Or, if you have news bits or whatever, if you want to, ask us to check out some pony project you're doing.
Yep.
And of course, you go follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/pony411. Like us there. See new episodes come out there as you want. Sometimes other stuff, but mostly just new episodes because we don't like Facebook.
Facebook is...
And of course, there's Twitter at pony411 if you want to follow us there and like and retweet and all that stuff as we tweet things out. There's also personal Twitters. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1 and he's at Alca7raz with an underscore at the end and a 7 instead of a T. If you want to follow our accounts, mostly for me, it's robot stuff.
I haven't been tweeting or retweeting. I've been liking things every now and then, so I guess if you want to check out my likes.
My likes. Yeah. So that's it for this episode. Tune in November, I guess.
Yes.
Doing more pony talking stuff things.
We're going to do something that I've been needing to do, and I haven't gotten
dragging
around
your feet,
doing it.
Dragging your hooves.
Yet. What?
Dragging your hooves.
Dragging my hooves. Because I'm worried I'm not going to do it right. But I guess I'm going to have to do it.
Oh yeah, the other thing was there was a Wonderbolts poster in the movie too.
Oh yeah, there was a Wonderbolts poster.
There you go.
Yep, and Zip was looking forlornly at it. that's a word.
What a weirdo. Who wants to join the Wonderbolts?
Hey.
They're useless. I mean, did you see how they tried to fight that dragon?
They were kind of useless. The elite flying team. What did they do?
They get captured immediately. Woo!
Well, I mean, I guess that's part of the course for the, they're supposed to protect the princess, and well, look how useful the princess is. Threat comes in, instantly captured, and Twilight has to fix it.
Again.
This
time, yeah, there was a movie. Twilight wasn't here to fix it this time.
No Twilight.
So, tune in next time. And until then, though, please pony responsibly. Goodbye.
See ya.